What's up, guys? This is Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the broader markets. I want to break down some big news that's coming out involving the EU that's affecting the charts, what you should be watching for as time goes on once we have some more data coming out. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link that's down below or sign up with my QR code that's right over here. Moomoo is an amazing global brokerage that consists of many exclusive offers. If you sign up and deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 25 in total. You deposit $5,000, and you're guaranteed 60 free stocks. You also qualify for an 8.1% APY on uninvested cash, and the offer ends in just 8 days from now. Another benefits of signing up is that you guys are going to gain access to news platforms from Barron's to MarketWatch and many others out there to see what's happening with the markets and charts in real time. So check out my link down below or sign up for my QR code that's right over here. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with the broader markets. So I just wanted to mention that right now we're in a very, very nice uptrend for SPY and the others. We're breaking all-time highs right now, and there's a good chance we're going to likely continue this trend. When we look back at the chart, I just want to say that for now, we're continuing to make higher highs and higher lows. And I think that as we're breaking all-time highs, we're watching this resistance around 633.8. If we could break and hold this, especially going into tomorrow, I think we easily push for 636 next. But if we're bearish, if you want to be bearish, you want to see us basically fail and end up going back below 630. If 630 fails us, I could be seeing us dipping back down to 626. For now, we're looking more bullish. We're favoring upside, but this also depends on some factors which I wanted to talk about. The first factor is going to be earnings. As you guys know, after the market closes, we have Tesla and Alphabet/Google and IBM announcing their earnings. I call this out because we never know what's going to happen. Sometimes we could be expecting Tesla to do very, very well, and the share price could still come down. Sometimes Tesla may not do as well. They may miss on EPS and revenue, but then they may hype us up with the robotaxi, and the share price could still bounce. Same thing with Alphabet/Google, with Alphabet, slash Google. We could be looking for a very, very big bounce. This could also drive a lot of tech stocks up, or it could be the opposite. So we just have to wait and see. But if you're holding anything overnight, I do want to warn you to be very careful with this because you never know what these earnings will cause. As of right now, it is expected the market's going to be going higher looking at the current trend. So we favor upside. So hopefully we see Tesla and many others start to run more, but we'll see just to be safe. On top of this, there's been some more news that the European Union and the US are heading for a potential trade deal, which includes a 15% US baseline tariff on EU goods. That's a lot lower than the 25% tariff that President Trump was talking about, or even 30% plus. So that's going to be very, very important. There was also a big trade deal with the US and Japan, and we're seeing a very, very positive reaction so far with that news coming out. Many different EU diplomats are saying that there's going to likely be a 15% tariff coming to avoid the 30% one that could be implemented by August 1st. So if this deal is announced, that could be very, very big as well. Finally, like President Trump was saying, Japan has once again opened their doors, and we have a nice deal so far, and they're also going to be investing over $550 billion into the US. Some good news so far. They're also going to be working together militarily, and there's going to be a lot of profits on both sides, according to President Trump. He also has been saying that he will always give up tariff points if I could get major countries to open their markets to the US. Another great power of tariffs. Without them, it would be impossible to get countries to open up. That's what President Trump is saying. He's also talked about Indonesia, which has agreed to the deal of a 19% tariff, and we're going to continue to see these negotiations taking place. That's what President Trump has been saying so far. He also criticized Jerome Powell again, saying that he wants to see him cut rates more, and he's saying that families are being hurt because of the action of keeping rates too high for longer. But we'll see how that goes, depending on inflationary numbers. But that's your update for now involving the EU and many other countries and the charts so far. Right now, SPY is still looking very bullish, especially approaching these big earnings. So we're favoring an attempt to go higher, to make higher highs and higher lows. Or we could be looking for an attempt to get back up to about 633.8 and eventually 636. We are favoring upside unless we end up losing support at 630, which would take us down to 626. I favor upside for now, but we'll see just to be safe depending on what happens involving our earnings. So keep that in mind. For the QQQ, we're looking more bullish. We're also making higher highs and higher lows. And as long as we don't lose 561, we're going to be favoring 566 as a potential target or above for all-time highs, especially if Google starts to run really hard alongside Tesla. But if we're bearish, You basically want to see us fail and lose this trend line of support. If this fails us, we're looking for a dip back down to 555. For now, we're looking more bullish, so keep that in mind. We're looking quite solid. On the IWM Russell 2000, we're looking more bullish. We're seeing a nice little breakout of this flag right over here, and this could take us even higher, targeting about 228 or above as a potential target. We're looking quite strong. On ES, we're looking more bullish. We're making higher highs and higher lows. Once again, favoring 6,400 as our potential target. As long as you don't lose 6,350, which is where the 20 EMA is, we're favoring 6,400 as a target. For NQ, we're looking more bullish. We're favoring 23,400 as our target. If we lose 23,164, we're looking for a move back down. But for now, we're favoring these highs up here, so I think we're doing a great job. Bitcoin's looking more bullish. As you can tell, we're trying to make higher highs, higher lows right here, excuse me. So it could try to push back up for 120,000, still looking quite good. Tesla's consolidating, but it has not lost major support at this wide trend line. If we lose the support right here at 325, we could be looking for a bigger move down. But if we see a big bounce here, we could continue to break out for 344 to 350. It all depends on what's announced during earnings. Now, keep in mind, Elon Musk and the team could be hyping up investors when it comes to their earnings, what we're expecting. So we'll see how it goes for Tesla. I am optimistic so far, but we'll see just to be safe. Be careful with earnings. You never know what's going to happen. Even if Tesla misses on EPS and revenue, as long as they could give us some good news about the robotaxi, the new models and such, they could offset the downside move and see a big bounce. We'll see about that. Nvidia is bouncing very nicely. We had some good news. We're looking for an attempt for 172. Apple's looking more bullish. As long as we don't lose 212, we're going to be favoring 215. Netflix is looking decent. We could be dipping to about 1180, if not 1160, right over here. Support becoming resistance, and we'll see if it bounces or not off those levels. AMD is favoring 158. We need to break that to push for 160. But if we end up losing 156, we're turning back down, so it still looks a bit more bullish to me. Coinbase has support right here at 391. We have resistance at 406. So we're going to see if this holds to bounce or not. So keep that in mind. That's going to be very, very key. Amazon has support at 227. If that breaks, we're going to be looking for a bigger move down. But as long as we hold support, we're looking for a bounce for 229 plus. Meta is looking more bullish. Basically, we have 716 as our resistance. We need to break out higher to see if buyers defend. And then Google also has resistance at 193. We're going to see if that bounces. Microsoft has resistance at 507. We're going to see if we bounce towards that or not. So those are going to be some of your targets, at least for the time being. The VIX is making lower highs here. It's rejecting, so we're going to see if we bounce or not. Otherwise, it's still technically favoring downside. And for now, the overall charts are still looking quite bullish. So obviously, I'm not going to promise this move is going to last, though. It depends on the big tech earnings that are coming out and also what kind of trade deals President Trump could announce. But the big things are going to be these two earnings. So I just want to warn you guys, if you're holding anything overnight, be careful, okay? Be wary of the risks. Be mindful of what the risks you're taking if you're holding anything overnight. I'm just here to give you guys the warning about that. So with that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. Enjoy the rest of your guys' days. Get ready for market close and get ready for some big tech earnings. We're about to see a big move. So be ready, guys, and do what you have to do. I thank you for listening, and peace out.